Hello, hello, hello. This is one of the first times I'm streaming with actual commentary. Actually, we're just chatting today, in fact. If I sound a bit tired, that's because, well, I'm a bit tired, unfortunately. But I had this plan for the day that I cooked up at the last minute. And I'm sticking to my last minute plans. It was decided. Can't make a choice in the matter. So today we're just going to be talking about games. If you want to hop into the chat, I can see the chat on my screen. From what I can see, you guys will be able to see it too. But I have an overlay right now, which is pretty nice. But the overlay does not show up. But chat will show up. If you want to participate in chat, I recommend hopping on either YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, because I can see those chats. Rumble, I'll be checking periodically to see if you guys are interacting, and I'll comment on what you guys are talking about. We can have a fun conversation about upcoming games. I used to do videos on this stuff back when I was trying to get the algorithm to like me before I had to accept the fact that me and the algorithm were just never going to get together. It just wasn't never going to happen. Algorithm. We could have been so good together. So, if this turns out well, or if I just feel like it anyway, I'll try to do this once a month, and we'll try to do some more chatting sessions more often. That's because all the platforms at this point in time, I'll be real with you guys. One, I needed to do to expand, my interactions with my community. And two, all the platforms are requiring you to have chat engagement, active chats, in order to qualify for the creator programs. Lovely, ain't it? Let's begin or talk about games. Shout out to Primal Planet. This is a game that's actually on my wish list. I might grab that and Prison Escape Dig Out today because I already, pre-snuck ahead, and realistically, there's nothing coming out this month, sadly. Oh, should say this month. We're still in July, aren't we? This upcoming month. Pardon me. I really like Dig a Hole, and this is just like Dig a Hole in prison with a bunch of, the nonsensical simulator stuff. And Primal Planet is a Metroidvania with a crafting system where you play as a caveman. Fight dinosaurs, aliens, other tribes. I think it has some base building in there, look like it. Just my cup of tea overall. Abiotic Factor, it dropped its 1.0. If you liked Half-Life and like survival games, Abiotic Factor is a merger of those two. Haven't had time to sit down and play it. Hope it's not going to end up hitting my backlog, and 3 months later I'm going to be like, man, I really should get around to playing that someday. We're going to hop over here to popular upcoming. World of Keeflings. Oh, hey, look, the upcoming Woke Flop, A Tales from a Shire. From what I heard from watching, I think it's Dr. Disaster, they've basically abandoned this game. Oh, if you hear it clinking, I like to drink out of glassware. Whole thing about microplastics and all that, Once you see a study talking about how much is accruing in your brain and the issues it can cause, I shouldn't say study, but hear about like the issues it can cause accruing in your brain. Yeah, I kind of try to move away from that, but it does clink. But no, right now I got a nice white tea with, what herb did I mix in there? I sometimes like to mix my teas, right? So I got a white tea and a herbal tea in there. Pretty good combo, actually. Grounded 2 is coming out. I like Grounded 1, and as much grief as I give Obsidian, and it's all well-deserved, mind you. Like, they deserve all the grief they're going to get. But Grounded was actually an okay game. I kind of lost interest because it just felt too rudimentary. There's also Small Lands, which I recommend if you like Grounded, check out Small Lands. Unfortunately, the best world would be taking all the good parts of Grounded and then merging them into Small Lands. Because Small Lands it's a bit rougher because I'll say like Grounded was smooth, but it was just kind of real limited, and the difficulty spikes were just kind of high. But Smalllands has a more robust difficulty, more various areas have different difficulty levels, and you has a nice world to explore. And that one you're playing, I think, more like fairies, like basically little people from oh, what are all those cartoons called? An anime. You cannot call anime cartoons. Cannot afford another drone strike in my house, and they will find me. They found a flagpole, they can find me. But basically a bunch of little people, and they emerge from underground, and it looks like it'd be some kind of post-apocalypse Earth, but not like really that post-apocalypse. Could just be an abandoned neighborhood, really. It was pretty fun. And Grind 2 looks like they're taking the mounts and a bunch of other stuff, really expanding on it. Sorry about going quiet there, guys. I unfortunately make a bunch of gas in my intestinal tract, and it's funny because I will have no problem the entire day, but I sit down to do some videos, and then boom. Actually, yeah, it does actually get pretty painful sometimes. Because actually, sometimes it actually starts pressing on a. Well, I take supplements to help to solve the problem, but before that, you got to the point where like it was like creating so much gas, it was like pressing on my lung. I shouldn't say lungs, but creating like a lot of chest pain. So we're gonna let's see, popular upcoming. Oh, the Little Nightmares 2. It's gonna be. Oh, that's yeah. Apparently, I can't read. That's Little Nightmares 3. Looks pretty fun. Kingmakers. That's coming in October. That is going to be the must-stream game of the month, possibly quarter. I can't really say it's going to be great or not even not buggy. But the ideal of going around medieval time with cars, tanks, and all bunch of aero stuff is definitely going to be popular with the audience. You know, a lot of people not really happy about Subnautica 2 and doubting on it. I'm actually more enthused by it now that the 3 woke leaders of the studio are gone. But I have to remind everybody that Krafton is a DEI company and an ESG company, and they have a pretty good rating. So I'm not, expecting too much out of it, but the first Subnautica game was okay. I'm not dunking on the first Subnautica game. I don't know. Like, I just didn't get super into it. I enjoyed it, loved the base building, loved the aesthetic. I really wish there were more games that had an underwater base building mechanic, because that it was just really fun to do. But the exploration just felt kind of lackluster to me, especially when you had to look into all the empty space. And I don't know. I love the mechanics. I think it's an okay game. I've been thinking about going back and playing it again, actually. And then everyone's favorite upcoming flop, Borderlands 4. Now, do I think Borderlands 4 is going to flop? See, that's kind of hard, right? Because you have to gauge the general audience. You can't just talk about like gamers who are well-informed, because we all know that game's going to be woke slop. But the general audience, it might not even be like the kind of woke slop that crosses their red lines. Because as I say to people, you got to understand that wokeness is a very wide spectrum. It's everything that is in cultural Marxism. So there's going to be parts of it that you're absolutely never going to tolerate anything, and there's going to be parts of it that you're just absolutely not going to give a crap about, period. You can't really be an anti-woke absolutist in these days, because it's like radiation after an atomic bomb. Once it goes off, it's everywhere. And maybe like in 30 years, 20 years, we'll enter an unwoke era, but I wouldn't count on it. I mean, I think some of this stuff here, it's going to be here to stay. And if it's not here to stay, like multiculturalism, I think that's going to largely go away. Because you look at the statistics, the younger generations are very race conscious. I mean, I don't know how the hell this happened. You taught an entire generation that they were evil for their skin color and that skin color was all that mattered and that people should organize based on skin color. And now the younger generations are doing that. I can't figure out how this came to be. You know, it was probably those evil gamers. It had to be the gaming chuds, man. Because as you know, Gamergate's more powerful than Illuminati, which we created through time travel because the first timeline was just too easy. Yeah. What's that? I wasn't supposed to snitch on the time travel. Whatever. They're going to figure out eventually. I mean, space is littered with dead time travelers. Or if you heard that joke and you've never actually got it. So, first of all, time travel is likely not possible, okay? But if it is possible, you're not anchored to the same point. So, where you're sitting right now is actually moving. The Earth moves. The Earth rotates. It moves through the solar system. The solar system moves through the galaxy moves through. Well, we haven't got that far yet. And then there's a possibility the universe itself is actually moving as well. If you travel back in time any considerable amount, you're going to be in empty space because you're not fixed. And that actually brings up an interesting question about time travel, because a lot of people are like, oh, I want time travel powers. It's like, no, I'm not taking time travel powers. I'll take time manipulation powers. Like, I'll deal it up all day long. Time travel, nah. Because time travel, that's like one of those things where you get to find out what the consequences and rules are, because it might be a power that you can't even use, because every time you time travel back, you just drop into empty space and then get slammed into by the Earth when it gets to you. But that's actually why the joke comes about, is that if it's not, space is not anchored to where you're time traveling, right? So like if you're not anchored to the Earth when you time travel, you'll anchor to the absolute location you're at. The absolute location when you time travel back, if you're lucky, will just be empty space. Let's see how Rumble's doing. Okay, we have no chats right now. Good. Well, not good. Sad face. Let's see. Oh, no, actually, we need to go back to the top. Popular upcoming releases. This is a good way to go through and find out what's coming out. Like, do this and like just figure out what you want each month ahead of time. Grounded 2, I already got that pre-installed. So I'm going to give Grounded 2 a shot. Like the Grounded team, they actually know what they're doing. So shout out to the Grounded team. Let's see how much improved Grounded 2 is. Hope it's more like small lands, because there's like a lot of things I could take from small lands, like the difficulty scaling based on area and creatures. I don't know. I found the problem with Grounded 1 was that it was just too difficult too often. And then boring and empty it too much. Let's see, what do we got here? Ooh, Dead Take. Horror, atmosphere, extra rich. Not enough tags, to be honest. Let's see. As you can see, a lot of games don't. A lot of these games are probably not going to come out on the 31st. They're just scheduled for the end of the quarter or the end of the month, right? And they'll get a new release date. Now we're into August. Let's see. Texan Plasm. Unfortunately, a lot of these games are going to be early access. This is like one of the first ones I noticed, Shattered Soul. 2D Metroidvania. I like me my Metroidvanias. PvE. Does that mean it's like mostly online? What do we got here? Hey, female protagonist, neat. By the way, you ever notice that us gaming chuds are the ones that play games and talk about games with female protagonists? But the supposed, oh, you just hate women crowd never really signal boost games with female protagonists. Hey, let's check out this gameplay. looked pretty okay. Misspoke earlier. That's obviously 2.5D. See, become Earth and venture out in the lost memories. Ooh, amnesia. She explores the forest, cathedrals, and snowy villages of the border area. I should be putting my glasses on. Like, sometimes I'll do these things. I won't have my glasses on because I'm at that point where I don't permanently need glasses, but they do help a lot. Not really a lot, but make it easier. Head crossway across town, either solo with a friend. Okay. You'll gain skills, chow down on power-ups. Yeah, the basic stuff. 5 large city regions to fight through. Sorry, I had to deal with some noise. Expansive world filled with unique dungeons, quest secrets. I mean, it looked like an okay game. I'm pretty pleased with it. I already kind of like booked myself up this next month. I just snagged Kazan, 20% off the Xbox sale. Oh, I'm sorry, that can't be possible because, as Xbox gamers don't buy, games. Come on, Xbox, please don't kick me out of the club. It was a mistake. I didn't know I was buying Kazan and I was buying the complete edition of Final Fantasy 16, guys. It was an earnest mistake. I had a lapse of judgment. It was drugs? No. Illuminati. No. Sorry, phone must be low today. Oh, yeah, limit's actually pretty good. All right, my joke. Yeah, who cares at this point? Let's get back to our search. Oh, yeah, keep an eye on Sire Souls. That actually looks pretty fun. Don't know if it's going to come to either platform, but looks pretty good. Oh, you okay, Buster? That's adult. I'm so glad you're not allowed to put like adult content in the thumbnail. Let's see, Operation Night Strikers, Art Imperialists, out and about. Yeah, some people might like that. Not my cup of tea. Oh yeah, Chain Echoes is getting a expansion. Nice. Damn 2. Early access psychological horror. So, sorry, let's check this one out. Play as a player, computer controlled, while scavenging and solving ones. Oh, it's online PvP. Oh, yeah, single player though.
There's something wrong in this place. Rumor has it that 13 years ago, a group of people went missing inside this building. Maybe it was a mistake, but we decided to really find out what happened here. It seems crazy, but history is repeating itself. We're trapped in here. We managed to find some keys and open some doors. But there are these puzzles made by a sick mind. It looks like he's playing with us. I feel like there's something in the dark, and it wants to get us. Run. If you find this message, stay away from this place. It's damned.
You know what dawns on me? That while that was a great time to take a restroom break, I need to comment on what just was played. And I wasn't here to watch it. Oh, silly me. Let's see. Make sure multi-stream chat's working right. Okay. The monster. So basically, this looks like you're kind of not 7 Days to Die. Oh, that's right. I need to buy Dead by Daylight on the PlayStation 4 to get all my DLC transferred over. I mean, their customer service takes for a while, but yeah, they actually were working on that. Unfortunately, I was playing Dead by Daylight on the PlayStation Plus. Yeah, that's right. I multi-plat games. I don't just stick to one platform. And I need to drop $30 on it, so I can get all my, or that or buy a month of PlayStation Plus to boot the game up, to get it to transfer the DLC purchases over. It transferred my content, like my progress, but it hasn't transferred the ownership, which kind of sucks. But $30 is objectively cheaper than probably about 80 to 100 I would have to spend. And then if I ever hop back over on PlayStation, I'll be able to play it when I hop back on it. I don't know, PlayStation 5 Plus really hasn't wowed me, but they do get a lot of JRPGs and other games, and sometimes I just like to, sit in the couch and just enjoy gaming there. I really want to, there's actually a product that allows you to have a desktop on like a recliner, right? So, and you can put your keyboard and mouse there. It's a bit of money, but man, I've been thinking about getting that and replacing my gaming chair. Actually, I just recently got a new gaming chair. It's actually a bit nicer because I actually had a height issue with my last one. Let's see. Ooh, tiny bookshop. Ooh, one of those cozy manager games. Mafia: The Old Country. See, that's another one of those games where I'm not sure if it's going to succeed or fail. It's going to be the general audience's decision on that one. I'm leaning more towards going to fail, right? When people play a Mafia game, they expect an open world experience. Mafia: The Old Country is like an Uncharted experience, and frankly, you're probably going to get like 4 to 8 hours of gameplay, and at $50, that's kind of steep. I don't know if all these 100-hour experiences have just like poisoned me on the idea that, if it's not that long, it shouldn't be that expensive. But I don't know. I can see it doing well because Uncharted doesn't really have much competition off of PlayStation, right? Like, so there's like no Uncharted on Xbox, and I don't know if Uncharted's actually on PC yet. So it's not like you can go play it on every other platform. So it may succeed in that there is no like real alternative to Uncharted. And as much as we can say Uncharted is not a very good series, because it's not a very good series, it looks fantastic, but it's like that. It's like that really good looking person you dated, right? And they actually have an absolute abysmal character. But it sells well. It's like the Dude Bro game, and let's be honest, if Mafia: The Old Country, it looks more Dude Bro than Uncharted is now, because Uncharted were like, oh yeah, we're gonna make you play as his daughter. We thought about having a son, but that wasn't progressive. That's where these people are absolutely fucking insufferable. Sorry, I got a bit close to the mic there. I had to make sure. Ooh. Neat. Now, Whisper Mountain Outbreak, that's the Resident Evil-like roguelike. That's definitely a game I'd keep an eye on for the month. but it's dropping to early access. But it looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I kind of been sleeping on that because I don't really care. I like roguelikes, but I swear. But yeah, I don't know. Like eventually, at a certain point, things get boring. I don't know. I may end up getting this. I don't think I will because I'm already kind of pre-booked up from last month's backlog editions and the games I just bought. On top of that, it's a roguelike and it's early access. Do I really want to burn myself out on this before it comes out? So a lot of times I have like 3 reasons why I really typically don't buy early access. One, bait and switch. They change it in development. It does not come out the same product that you're backing. And a lot of people, they think that they're going to keep getting the same game because most companies do keep giving you the same game. And they get really upset when they get the change over the switch up, But honestly, you're backing an early access, you're taking that risk. So unless I'm willing to incur that risk, I'm just not one. I just don't feel like buying early access. 2, like a lot of devs don't straight abandon their games, but what happens. And then even more frequently, the game's going to take like 4 or 5 years to get done. Unfortunately, early access is a double-edged sword. On one hand, you get the feedback from the community, bug testing, player feedback and mechanics. It really can help shape to make it a really great game. On the other hand, everything has to work in every build you put out, as per Steam's rules. Now, you might be thinking, how is that a double-edged sword? Okay, so a lot of the best games, and even classic games throughout the ages, some of the core mechanics quite literally did not work until like a couple months into release. Now imagine having to have that core mechanic work every single build. Anytime you want to introduce new mechanics, you have to have them work every single build. Yeah, that can really set development back by quite a long time. Because basically, when you're going to early access, unless you're basically like 2/3, 3/5, mostly done, and you're just like flushing out the content, maybe a few more features, you're really looking at extending your dev time by a good chunk of time. And then lastly, and this actually happened with Starbound, I literally burned myself out completely on the early access of Starbound. And then when it finally came to 1.0, I didn't care to play because I already had dumped like over 10 hours or so into the game. So that's why a lot of times I just like flat out will not buy early access for those 3 reasons. Now, some of them I will make exceptions. It's basically a case-by-case decision, with most of the cases being like, nah, wait. Let's see. The next game, though. Let's go. What do you guys think, though? Do you guys buy early access, or do you guys kind of sleep in early access and you'll see them in 1.0? Fallen City Brawl. I'm not much of a side-scroller beat 'em up, but that actually looks pretty good for a side-scroller beat 'em up. If you like side-scrollers, keep an eye on that one. Age of Wonders gets another DLC. That's like Paradox's big problem, is they just drop way too much DLC. So like you look at the game like, man, I want to get into this game. Oh, I have to drop $120 to get the DLC, or look at a guide to see which DLCs recommended to have the actual decent starting experience. No, I'm good, fam. Man, I love how the RTS genre is like just making this huge comeback nowadays. Because for like the longest time, RTS has just really struggled to be profitable, from what I heard. We're Farm Boy. Gug. All right, now here's another game that I'm actually going to sleep on, because I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't know. You can see like they have a masculine jaw there too. Then I'm like, oh, Deep Silver? Deep Silver got merged into 2 other publishers, yet somehow their label stays on games. When it comes to Take-Two, they are a very ESG DEI company, and Deep Silver's the one that published the what game was it? Starts with an S. Saints Row game, the reboot. Yeah, Deep Silver's like one of those companies that really just proves that we're living in a neo-feudal civilization. Because this company literally ran itself into the ground and were probably going to go bankrupt for their bad decisions. And then they got bought out. And then they were allowed to keep doing exactly what they were doing with virtually no change up. And then surprise, surprise, it worked out as well as you think something like that would work out. Absolute brain dead material right there. But I was going down because, I don't want to I try not to jump the gun and stuff. The trail looked good, but then you kind of look into what the main character is, and yeah, it looks like basically it's a better Forspoken. Angry girl boss. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just judging it too harshly. But I'm not gonna lie. It just looks like another Forspoken. By the way, why do all these people want to make their black characters ugly as fuck? With that man jaw. And they even gave her dreads. Are those dreads? Wait, let me look close at that. Let me look close. Okay, those. No, that's not dreads. All right, round of applause in the chat for them not giving her dreads. I know it's a really low standard for these people, but they didn't give her dreads. That's a pretty big step for them. So I'm oh yeah. I don't know. This just kind of looks like the game that Forspoken could have been. Maybe I'm judging too harshly. I don't know. If it wasn't coming from Deep Silver, I'd probably be more generous with this game, right? But it's Deep Silver as the publisher. I mean, the only game that they've actually published that hasn't been a train wreck is Dead Island 2. And let's be super real about Dead Island 2. It has diversity, but it feels more organic, so it's passable, right? Oh, let's just watch this. 60 minutes. Let's not watch that. I'm not sitting here for 60 minutes for that. Let's see the announcer trailer first.
I used to swear by my father's oath to protect the wards is to protect our people, and if it claims our lives, what's one life lost for the sake of the many?
Okay, you guys seeing this? Manjaw here, more rounded feminine facial structure there. I swear this had to be like one of those games where they were going to go with the more woke design. And actually, her cheeks are sunken in there. Man, that's some amateur hour right there. This looks like one of those games where they're trying to revise it as they're coming along. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, right there, it's more pointed. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to stuff like that. Because a lot of these games, especially because these trailers are not using all the same footage you create at the same time a lot of times. So what you'll notice is if they're de-wokeifying something, or at least walking it partially back, the facial structure will change. And now she's white. What the hell? All right, no, she's black, right? Is that just like the? Okay, like she's clearly black here. Yeah. Okay, that her arms are clearly black. Okay, she clear as that. Why is her face white? And man, pick a skin tone. Like you can see this dude's face here. It ain't like radically changing skin color. Like, well, I mean, okay, that's probably lighting, right? Because all these gifs are here in really dark lighting. I don't know. That's clearly okay. Maybe this is actually from later on because this is the announcement trailer. So let's hop over here to this one here. It's me. I didn't really care to say. Oh, is that Dreads? You know, a lot of people are going to knock this game for like this combat system here. But no, I actually play games like this. Like, it's not going to be the most robust combat you're ever going to play. You're not going to like ride. Okay, like she clearly has a more feminine face. Although I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was a dude at first. Yeah, clear feminine face. You made a black character steal stuff from. I'm gonna stop there. Oh, actually, okay. You can see, like here, you can see, like that's clearly a more feminine face. That's clearly a nice upgrade from her original face. They also look like they've lightened her skin tone considerably. You know, if you're gonna make a black main character, which is by all means do so. CJ was awesome. Yeah, I know I'm old. San Andreas still one of the best GTA games to date. Maybe GTA 6 will fix it if they're actually purging the woke. I'll have to wait and see. But if you're going to make a black character, stick to it. What is her like? I think that's basically European facial features, dark skin tone. Oh, well, I suck at picking up ethnicity, so whatever. Oh, I actually like that. All right, well, why did that one take damage? Okay, that one did take damage. Oh no, I made that got damage from there. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like what I'm seeing here. Yeah, judge this game a bit too harshly. No, don't get me wrong. This combat is not great. No, it's not gonna be like your top of line combat. But like I said before, I play games like this. Ooh, me like. Oh, hey, look, experience. They have good dynamics in this one scene here, at least. You know, maybe I judge this game a bit too harshly. But in my defense, humans are psychologically programmed through biology to make judgments based on appearance, and the Steam page don't really do this game really much justice. This is doing this game more justice. Oh, let's actually hear this dialogue here. Make sure it doesn't sound cringe.
I can still feel the charge from the other preserver.
Can you just sort of channel it in there?
It's worth a shot.
Now that is something special.
Okay, that's not going to win points for like great voice acting. Let's be real. I don't know how much they want for it. Don't really say. It's actually going to be pretty fun if it's actually decently priced. Let's check out their interaction early on, though. Why don't we check that out?
Wait! You can't! Listen to me! Stop! Please! You're bringing this whole place down all around us! Just listen to me! Or just keep going. I'm sure this is a great big misunderstanding.
Who are you, old man? Why are you here?
My name is Abram Finley. I'm a scholar. I specialize in wards and ward-related phenomena. May I? Been exchanging letters with this region's ward guardian for a while now. A few weeks ago, the letters stopped coming. I came here to find him. But, well...
This is my father's handwriting.
Your father? Valestin Zer is your father? Is he all right?
No. He's dead. A month ago.
Look, I know these Dustmen. Their commander and I have history. And I promise you, Auric isn't the type to be satisfied with a minor victory.
He'll be lucky if he gets that much. I need to raise the alarm and get my brother. If you need help reaching safety, you can follow me, but I won't slow down for you.
I can keep up. Though it would be nice to know the name of my guide.
You can call me Ren.
Well then, Ren, I don't suppose you happen to know the way out of here?
No. This passage must have opened in one of the landslides. I've never been here before. But it doesn't smell too musty. Follow the fresh air and we'll find an exit.
The nose knows. Always a sound bit of wisdom.
Sure.
It's been a long time since I traveled with a vestige.
Does it bother you?
Oh no, quite the contrary. It's just a little nostalgic.
Glomore, stay behind me.
I'm not entirely helpless.
Looks like you dragged us right into a hive.
All the more reason to get out of here quickly. Here, I'll get that from the other side.
No, I gotta say, it really does look like I prejudged that game too harshly based on the, well, to be fair, like, get a more updated picture there. Give me a minute. Sorry, my family has dogs. Make a lot of noise. Kind of irritating. I'll have to wait and see how much that one costs, but yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. From what I've seen, I judge this game too harshly too quickly. And this is actually one of the games I actually did pre-look at a bit. I didn't really watch gameplay before I started streaming, but looking at that gameplay, like it's not gonna win any awards, but if I wasn't so backlogged, I'd probably play this. Make a little note here. My notepad real quick. Add that one. Echoes of the end. There we go. See? I can admit when I'm wrong. I don't like being wrong. I dropped the gun on that one. Man, I swear, VR is like a wealthy person hobby. I mean, I now have a PC capable of running VR pretty well, but I don't have the money to drop on a good headset. Then I need to make space. That's like the problem with a lot of VR. Like, you need to make space to play it. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of features in there that make it possible not to have a ton of space to play it. Hey, don't get me wrong. If I was rich, I'd have VR. I'm not joking entirely. I'm just saying. Let's see. Let's see. What else we got coming out? Like I said, we're kind of like finally hitting that summer drought. Well, it's more like a late summer, early fall drought. Ooh. I didn't know they were releasing a Dawn of War Definitive Edition. That's going to be really good, must play, or nah, hard pass? What's in it? My memory's not good enough to remember if that's graphically updated. It's going to play that anyway. Upon blah, blah, blah. Delivers image-based lighting, upgrade unit textures, enhance overall presence, improving world lighting, unit reflection. Okay, better graphics. Additionally, all units in the game receive a texture upscaling of at least 4 times their original resolution, making them deal to more unit. Okay. Runs at 64 bits. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the graphics been brought more in line with the current design for these characters. Yo, how come this game's not getting advertised enough? Like, this is peak Warhammer. Like, Dawn of War is what a lot of people got into Warhammer on. I gotta say, like, I think my first Warhammer game was the original Space Marine. My brother got in on Dawn of War. And I'll be honest, when I played the first Space Marine and I saw the Orc War Chief get, like, taken out, I'm like, knocked down by the demons, you know? I'm like, well, I'll never see him again. And then he climbs back up in the same scene. I'm like, okay, I'm not dealing with your typical, universe here. This is some hardcore stuff. And I've actually played all the Dawn of War games except for 3, and we all know why no one plays 3. 9 full factions. 4 campaigns. So basically all the DLC. Dark Crusade and Soulstorm, yeah, those are good. Those are peak. Man, like, dude, they're bringing back peak Warhammer. And I find it by scrolling. If you ever want to see a greater failure in marketing, it's when you bring back the pinnacle of a franchise and a fan of said franchise doesn't even know what's coming out. Yeah, what the sad thing is? I hate how we start calling these people tourists, because tourist would be the perfect term for someone who like likes it, but don't really want to move in, you know? 'Cause I like 40K, but I'm not going to learn all the lore. I may watch a lore video here and a lore video there, because let's be honest, that stuff's fascinating as hell. But, it does have the issues with the unreliable narrator excuse. They keep handing religious concepts to atheists. And I'm not the biggest fan of atheists, because a lot of times they can't really put aside their values and actually just wholesomely write a decent religious character. But you can see Christians write good atheistic characters. Kind of sad. But hey, if you're atheist, I'm not going to tell you not to watch my stuff, I'm not like going to do something like that. We may argue, but and if you follow me on social media, you've seen me call atheists the most intellectually lazy people on earth. And I stand by that. But we're not going to get into a little religious discussion here. Unfortunately, that's the problem with a lot of our favorite mediums nowadays. It's because like 10, 20 years ago, you didn't really have this problem. Nowadays, you have like, oh, we're handing it to an atheist who can't put aside their views on atheism, and they're writing religious characters, so they're inherently writing bad works that we're going to have to say are quasi-canon because of the unreliable narrator effect. And it's like, okay, so, because I know a lot of people, they don't want you talking about stuff like that. But how am I supposed to not talk about stuff like that when you have people doing stuff like that? Would it not be awesome to say like, hey, it doesn't really matter what this person's views are, they wrote a great fucking book? But that's not what ends up happening. So like you literally end up with the books, and this is my understanding, I'm not like super into that, but depending on who writes the Emperor, if it's someone who actually has some religious values, he's written to be like a more authoritative but like good person, like a good father. If he's written by an atheist, he's basically a complete scumbag, a manipulator. So you end up with these two differing views on how the Emperor behaves, and Games Workshop, who is basically being converged, and I swear if I ever like got $1 billion, I'd buy them and hire like Arch and other people to come in, like set like the Bible down and figure out what's actually canon. Oh man, the things we dream of doing if we got rich. Man, I forgot I was going with that. But yeah, then you end up having all these problems, though, with the continuity. Is the Emperor, like, this really good father figure? Like, he's not perfect. He's still flawed, but, like, the true leader of mankind, or is he a manipulative piece of crap who takes credit for other people's work? And then we have to look into what's the agenda of people writing stuff that crappy. And why is that being allowed to be written that crappy? And that is where we get into the politics in our entertainment. So when people say they're tired of politics and entertainment, that's kind of what they're talking about. Let's see how Rumble's doing. Remember, guys, if you are on Rumble, you can hop in the chat anytime. I may take some time to get around to responding to you, as unfortunately, Streamlabs does not have integration with Rumble yet, because Rumble wants to have its own like Streamlabs service. And I'll be real, if you're from Rumble and you're listening to this, the reason I keep using Streamlabs instead of just fully switching to Rumble is there are several platforms that have more complex settings. And the last I checked on your platform, you don't allow me to tweak those more complex settings. And that's a problem. But yeah, Dawn of War, peak Warhammer, graphic upgrades. Man, I cannot believe I am finding out about this just right now from scrolling. How? Like, real talk, how? Probably should have a tab open with Twitter. For some reason I do really well on Twitter. Shout out to Twitter. Or X, whatever you guys want to call it nowadays. But that's also I could tell when YouTube screw me. Is like, okay, there's actually no way to discover people for people to discover me on X, and yet somehow I'm doing good on X. I'm doing okay on Kick. I'm doing okay on Rumble. I'm doing okay on Twitch as well as you can do okay on Twitch. But for some reason, I'm not doing okay on YouTube. I could get into a whole thing. All right, let me give you guys a good example of YouTube, right? So, all successful videos are going to basically follow 3 general lines. A more upline trending, then a more, kind of slowly moving downward. Let's call that petering. I can't remember what else I call it. And then you have coasting, where basically, if it's evergreen, you might get a few views every month, but realistically, it's had its heyday, it's dead. So, if you do not watch a progression of these 3 lines, you're being artificially throttled. And what I will see in a lot of my videos, especially shorts, I'll have a short blow up, right? Because the algorithm for shorts does not quite work like the other 2 algorithms do. So you actually can get the views that your channel would actually naturally get if you weren't being throttled on the other two long form algorithms. Yeah, YouTube has 3 algorithms if you don't know. There's the shorts, there's the front page, and then there's the side algorithm that basically recommends videos based on what you're watching. Now, I complain on Twitter, and Team YouTube wanted to blow smoke up my ass. It's like, yeah, I know how SEO marketing works. And, I am so tempted to just throw $50 to promote a video, because if I do that and they ever throttle me, that would probably be a really good lawsuit material right there. I am deeply suspicious if you promote with YouTube, you actually start throwing money at the promote, which by the way is the best SEO technique. Like backlinking, pretty good. Hire someone out to do that. But because I was actually gonna potentially get an SEO job, right, where I'd be in charge of a social media marketing and SEO work. So I took one of those online courses. And I'll tell you, the best thing you can do for your videos is have other people come in from other sites. That really makes the algorithm super happy, right? If you can figure a way to get people to come in from other sites organically, because YouTube does not like it when you buy views. And I do not buy views. I know other content creators do. I've seen advertisements for that too, because apparently my devices listen to me and they know when I'm endlessly bitching about YouTube. And I looked up pricing. It's not bad. It's actually pretty decent. And the service that I saw that they advertised on Facebook, they're not technically in violation, but unfortunately for me, I'm very prideful. I like to look at my numbers and say, hey, they may not be where I want them to be, but they're there because I got them there. And if I throw in some fake numbers, I'm not going to be happy with that. So I can't do it. But YouTube blowing smoke at my ass. I can see the metrics. I have 920 plus subscribers. Realistically, I should be having 5 to 10% minimal on every video. Period. I should be getting views on other topics. My coverage is pretty good. It's not I'm not complaining oh, why am I not PewDiePie? I'm not delusional. I'm saying, hey, realistically, I should be getting 90 to 100 views per video. Why are you throttling me? Why is my content getting very little interaction? And why have you turned up the throttling on my live streams? I literally have data from other websites, which I know aren't engaging in that, and also one that does engage in it. And they're showing me that I can be way more successful. But I'm looking at the data you're providing me, and you're showing me that the only way you can collaborate or correlate with this other data is if you are engaging artificial censorship, artificially lowering my views. It makes no other sense. if I get more views on, except for shorts, so shorts do way better on YouTube than they do on Rumble. But if I'm getting more views on my long form, which is Rumble's kind of like one of those weird platforms. I don't do like terribly great there. But then again, I know they're not throttling, so I understand that, I just got to keep working at it. But if I'm getting more views on a way smaller platform with way less subs, yeah, that's a really good indication. But the worst part is, like I was saying earlier, I'll have shorts. They'll for some reason, like, they'll do real well, right? They'll break out, and you'll see that nice trending line up, way up. I'll get good interactions. I'll get a ton of likes. I'll get comments, which I'll have. And then, by the way, you can go through my shorts. I have plenty of shorts on YouTube where I get that stuff, because I do work on a lot of short form content now, because that's what's really popular right now. Try to keep videos under 3 minutes. I'll put it as a short form. And if it's longer than 3 minutes, I'll put it as long form. But I'll have it like make all the metrics that they say I need to get promoted. And they won't promote it. So it tells you right there the line. Also, it leaked that Google weights content views that you're going to get based on creator for SEO. So it's publicly known that YouTube picks and chooses winners. But on some videos, they'll break out, and you can watch the line go all the way up, and then suddenly it will turn straight right. It'll go straight flat. Now, in organic video, what will end up happening would be you'll see it go up. You'll see that, sharp line start to, go, downward. You'll have a curve. And that curve is going to be your petering out curve, right? Sometimes it could be really fast. A couple days. Day, maybe. Something's trending, then it's not trending anymore. It happens. But you should never, ever see it go straight flat. If it starts to form a right angle, you're being artificially throttled. And I can look at the data on my YouTube and see them turn this on. Like, you can literally see where they are turning it on. It's some of the most disheartening stuff as a content creator you will ever see, putting hard work, well, relatively hard work. Because I ain't going to be like one of those guys that says, like, oh, yeah, this is so hard. It's harder than being a miner, guys. Not to be confused. Okay, I was gonna make a really dark humor joke about Minecraft YouTubers there. I'm gonna refrain. Do it. Quiet, pop with you on my shoulder. Oh, man. But yeah, no, like at the beginning of the year, I really literally thought I was going to be in the advertisement program on YouTube by the end of the year. And then they just really, the last like month or so, really just turned my throttling on just like to like a ridiculous degree where it was obviously there beforehand, but now it's undeniably there. And I have to wonder if I just threw money at it, would it just go away? Because at that point in time, if it doesn't, in Discovery, because, if I sue them, by some miracle, I win the lottery. Yeah, win the lottery, throw $1,000 at promoting my videos, and just wait for them to screw up with my elite legal team sitting there, be like, come on, fuck up. Yes, they fucked up. Sue. But Discovery would just absolutely gut YouTube. But I mean, you see a lot more of these other content creators, and it's like, oh, they're changing how they're counting views. It's like, oh, man, that must be nice to be allowed to have views, because some of us ain't allowed to have views, and our content's just as good as yours. No hate to these content creators, dude. All right. The one I will actually give grief at is I can't stand when you see a content creator complain they ain't getting views and they're not doing any SEO. All right. They'll put a thumbnail, they'll put a good title, but there'll be no not thumbnails, tags in the video. And I've seen this before, like where there's virtually no tags and the tagging's not that good. And it's like, oh, my views are down. It's like, why aren't you tagging your stuff? Like, you should be doing the work. Like, I do the work. You should be tagging your stuff. I use vidIQ, so it's actually a really good service. I'm a brokey and a fixed income, so I would love to throw money in by their program. They have a lot of great tools, but the free stuff's pretty good. All right. So if you're a content creator, yeah, get vidIQ. Because the nice thing about vidIQ is you actually can go to, it's another great SEO technique. Get vidIQ, go to videos that are in the category you want to do well in, see what they're tagged in, and then add those tags to your video. Dark Queen of Morhaime actually looks like a really fun game. I'll probably pass on it, but yeah, basically you play as the queen, you're the boss. I think actually the good ending, because I think this actually was an itch.io. I think they're expanding it for Steam release. I'm not sure on that. But I think the good ending is actually the hero and the queen actually get together in the end. And I'm a sap for happy endings like that. And another bendy game. Like realistically, that's not going to be that much money. Continue on downward. Man, that looks like it's going to be like someone's like just relax game. Ship of Heroes. And a hard pass in that one. Voidbreaker. Is that a portal gun? Okay, no, that was not a portal gun. So it looked like a portal gun for a second there. And what's this one about? Let's check this out.
Subject decimated. And we're the rats in this cage. You're gonna get us out of here. We better get to work.
Okay, yeah, my monkey brain was going, man, I love those particle physics. So basically, Portal, but if the facility is about combat, I'm down for that. I'm actually down for that. Write that down. That actually looks fun. Oh, horrors. Man, if only more people would walk into a horror situation and be like, no, they don't pay me enough for this. Oh, I'm going to call. Yeah, boss, what's up? How much per hour? Okay. Damn, they now pay me enough for this. How much would they have to pay you to deal with this stuff? I'm thinking $50 an hour. With a death bonus, because I'm probably making that alive. So puzzles, explore nightmares, other environments. Luck skills, keep her alive, make her stronger. Secrets are fun. Multi-items, huh? It's like a fun game. This county. Wait. Is this county the game I think it is?
Hello,
Oh, this is.
I must had a keen eye on me. I just
This is one where basically you get to run your own store after your grandma. I didn't know that was coming out this month. I've seen some. I think I've. Can't remember how much I've watched other content creators play this. I try to watch a lot of gameplay, but I think I've seen. Not signed in. I am actually. I have Splattercat Gaming as a curator. Do I have Mr. Falcon as a curator? By the way, if you like indie games like this, follow those two channels. Splattercat, Yippee-Ki-Yay, Mr. Falcon. They do some great stuff. Oh, mainly Badass Hero if you're into horror. I just kind of, no, this is actually going to be fun. PewCube actually makes some pretty decent games. I should say publish some pretty decent games. I can't believe I missed them when I was scrolling through this earlier. Pizza Bandit. Okay.
Temporary jump. We've arrived with the lead to power up the restaurant. After a few seconds, take it out from the oven and place it on the top. No food. Bandits can appreciate your needs. Now it's closing time. Switch on. But then what can we do? Our client has had this restaurant to attract invitations. The restaurant is about to open soon. Take them all out. Time Reapers are invading the restaurant. We'll make a cucumber roll. There's nothing special. Combine the egg with rice and put it on and close the restaurant simple. Good job. You've got a satisfied customer. Keep it up until we get to closing.
I think I just got contact high. Anyone else feel contact high right now? So lethal company, but you run a restaurant and guns galore. That's actually that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. The concept is just so funny. I mean, it has that jank look. Oh, hey, Crafton. Yeah, you guys have seen my coverage on that whole drama. Crafton may not be a perfect company, but I am not unless there's some 11 fall revelation, they're going to win that lawsuit. And then the other developers came out for another, I can't forget what game they're publishing. They came out and said, like, yeah, they're not interfering with anything about their game, and everything's fine, everything's cool. Yeah, no, I can fully foresee. Can't stumble on words. I can fully foresee. There we go. Yeah, there's going to be content creators playing that. I wonder if Mitzen's going to play it. My brother watches Mitzen, and he does all those like Lethal Company like games. I think he does. Yeah, Hubble got the right content creator on that one. But like, yeah, I can see. I don't know. It's more action. Oh, hey, Gears of War Reloaded, only for $40. Look, I would be more excited for Gears of War Reloaded if I had not played that game to death. My only question is, do you actually have the correct ending scene, which is from the original game and not the expanded game, which for some reason, even though the light mass bomb has missiles and the Judgment, and the original now goes through have a torpedo design and a way shorter travel time. Yeah, I like the aesthetics in the original ending than I did the, what was it called? Whatever. So I kind of really hope if they for Reloaded actually chooses the original aesthetics and upgrades those visuals. It's not game ruining, mind you. It's just like one of those like little things that, you know, you complain about. For the house. Pixel Starships. Alexis. Story Seasons like one of those tragic cases. I used to love Story Seasons. They used to dominate the farming sim market, but now it's like, oh, hey, we're remaking Grand Bazaar. Like, oh, cool. Who asked you to remake Grand Bazaar? Like, don't get me wrong, it's okay. But like, who was asking you to remake that? The sad part is that this company, well, actually, they're underneath new management now. Their CEO stepped down earlier this year, and now they have a new CEO, if I remember correctly. So hopefully the company's going to improve. But this is a company, Marvelous. They just refuse to listen to like anything their fan base said. Like the whole reason why we have, oh man, I forgot the name of the game. You guys are going to notice that without me able to clip stuff out, because I do professionally edit I should say professionally, I do edit my videos. I am really bad at remembering names. Stardew Valley. So we got Stardew Valley because a fan, was it Concerned Ape? Hey, basically, we've been asking forever, please just make a farming sim closer to the original Harvest Moon games, make it challenging and all that. And they're like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to chase this casual audience. And then Concerned Ape's like, fuck it, I'll make my own. And now he's a millionaire. And the worst part is, having seen him succeed, seeing the success of Stardew Valley, seeing the success of every other one of their competitors, either take their simplicity with the casual market and then actually make a more engaging game, or go with the more complex, farming, they don't really do well. The company that pioneered the genre is now one of the weakest companies in the genre because they just simply refuse to listen to their customers. And I have a shelf of the plushes that come with pre-ordering Story Seasons games, okay? I'm not just blowing smoke out my ass on that. I'm not just hating to hate. I would love for the founders of the genre, which someone's going to probably come and say, Kevin, they're not the founders of the genre. This company here did it before one of the top people in the genre, pioneers, whatever you want to call it, whatever accolades we can give them, to rise back to the top. I want them to be like, From Software of farming sims. Incidentally, From Software, Marvelous. If we can get actually a Souls-like farming sim, that'd be like straight lit. Yeah, someone get to work on that, please. Please, that'd be so awesome. But like, you know, like there's so many other Souls-like games, which let's be honest, Souls games are just basically classic RPGs with the hard difficulty, all that jazz, with the modernized mechanics, which, if I remember correctly, that's actually what From Software said they were attempting to do when they were making the original, either Demon Souls or Dark Souls. So, and other people claim they like create this new innovative stuff. But if I remember correctly, they just claimed they were just bringing back the classic RPG. Or bringing back classic RPG mechanics and putting it into a modernized game. So kudos to them. But they are the top of the genre. Like, they release Elden Ring 2, all our asses are going to be playing that game day one. So if they do an early access period, all of our asses will be playing that game day one early access period. And I don't mean early access as in like early access release, as in like, you know, give us an extra $10 and we'll give you 7 days early access. Yeah, look, as a content creator, I can really justify that for myself. Because that's a tax write-off. But they could be From Software. Like, look, we love other Souls games. Wu Chang is pretty fun. I haven't played Kazan yet, but people like good things about it. Wukong, good things about it. But From Software still remains the dominant maker of Souls games. Lies of P, great game. Well, I hear now it's a great game that they fixed the difficulty. My brother accidentally turned on the difficulty from launch. He was having a horrible time because he wasn't sure what they switched the labels to. Man, that game was hard as hell when it launched. Like, the reason I did not finish Lies of P was I got to the gate boss, right? And I got to the point where I'm like, I can beat this guy. I'm not spending the 4 hours to beat this guy. I'm not investing in this game enough to waste my time on that. Because here's the worst part, because at the time they didn't have respec, and I did not spec into the win build. Unfortunately. Now they know, like the week after I dropped it, they added respec, so I'm like, I don't feel like going back. I'll probably go back around Christmas time. The game will probably be on some good sales in this Christmas season. So, you know, I'll probably pick it up again there. I got like Kazan next as a Souls game to play, and Trio, I think that's what it's called, the Italian Souls game. I picked it up last month. So, like, I was already thinking about playing Overture, but then I'm like, nah. I already got, like, well, I had Trio, but like my backlog, and I'm like, I have Kazan, so, like, nah, I'm not going to pick that up. But I hear great things. Yeah, but they could be like that for the farming sim genre, but they're just left behind. Like, I'll be honest, I look more forward to the next entry in the My Time at than I do Story Seasons. And honestly, then the Room Factory, they just keep simplifying and dumbing it down. And I'm not saying it doesn't have to be like approachable. I don't need like pointless complication, because that's like one thing I do like about some of these modern indie games. They have like the complexity of some of the older games, especially when they're remakes. But then they smooth over the user experience. Like, it's like if you played some of the older games, you'll know why the hell we had manuals. Now, they weren't just there, you know, for shits and giggles. They actually were there for a very poignant reason. The art was great in them too, man. I miss manuals. But hey, now they have new management. Although I'll say the Rise of Ruins franchise, which is getting a spin-off where you play as the goddess of engineering, mechanisms, whatever. And again, you know, here's my big thing, right? Where are all the people who call us misogynistic women haters with that game? You know, where are they? Should they not be promoting that game? Why is it that it's us gaming chuds, and more specifically the fantastically heroic, and brave CEO of Chud Inc. Yours truly, the one telling you about these cool games with female protagonists. They only show up to defend woke. They don't show up to promote good games. And that's a sad reality of the situation with these people. Then we have Snake Eater. Man, I do not know if I'm going to get this or not. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Snake Eater. It is hands down one of the best Metal Gear games. Now, personally, I really like Peace Walker for the base building and base management mechanics. Like, Peace Walker is like my favorite Metal Gear game. And I like it even more now that I actually could, actually when it got ported, so I actually could beat the stupid torture segment, which was just, oh, man, that was a nightmare to get through. But Snake Eater is really good. This will set up, upgrade the graphics. I think it's expanding the areas. And I've seen gameplay for this, and it captures that classic Metal Gear feel. But I already kind of played Snake Eater. I don't really have I think Snake Eater is going to do really well, though, because look at its competition. No disrespect to Goblin Cleanup. And I'm not singling that game out because for hate reasons. I played the demo. I actually like Goblin Cleanup. It's actually kind of a cozy game where you use these cute little slimes to clean up a dungeon. And it's actually a really fun game. Really cozy. This game actually could be like one of the indie game streaming sensations. So not dunking it, but I mean, let's be honest. They're completely different genres. And like, what is Snake Eater going up against? Story of Seasons, a remake that will please people. Because Grand Bazaar, I think, actually was one of the better ones on the 3DS. It's not like people are clamoring for Grand Bazaar, nor, I mean, you're like, what? Maybe like have like a few thousand at best people who are going to be playing Grand Bazaar over Snake Eater. Like, there's going to be crossover from the audience, but a lot of the audience are going to be playing Snake Eater. And let's see, well, I mean, Gears of War Reloaded, I mean, but that's like a remake of a game you already can play in Game Pass. Like, not to hate, but I've played that game to death. You can go play that game to death right now. That's a good price, though. For like $40 for a remake of a game that you already can play to death. It's a good price. So, I mean, like, that's like its only real competition right now. It's a Reloaded, and I mean, Gears of War does not have that appeal it used to have. And then we, like, how long do we have to scroll back? I mean, Void Breakers might end up doing well, but I think it's only on a PC, so it's not going to have those console sales. I mean, 40K, like, we're like way too early now. I mean, the only real chance it could have is if the general audience picks up Borderlands 4. Where the hell was that at? That was at the beginning of the month. Is it not at the beginning of the month? No, not seeing it. Okay, so I guess it's not to begin the month. Okay, must be like near the end of the month. No, I swear I saw this. I can't remember where I saw it when I went through this earlier. Okay, yeah, okay, in mid-September, so it's not really a competition. And so, like, where was that? And that game doesn't really have any competition. That game's got to do well. That game does not start talking about sales figures. Yeah, that Konami really needs to re-examine who's running their company then, because that's you're taking like one of the most popular Metal Gear games, and if you fail to deliver on that, when it looks like it has the charm, like I haven't watched too much gameplay, because like there are just some games, you know, like You don't need to see gameplay on right. You already know whether or not you're going to get it. And you may check it out to make sure it's okay. Like you might wait for the reviews. But I already know what Snake Eater is going to be, and I already like what I saw. I saw some video on the X, and I loved how they really just captured that classic combat feel with them going flying in the air and then slamming on the ground. Like, I love that. They didn't modernize it in that sense, make it like Call of Duty. Oh, Lost Souls aside, that actually might be a legitimate competition. That's that game that got a lot of praise. From Mysterious Dimensional Invaders from beyond the starlit skies of the Lost Souls aside. Wait, are they interdimensional invaders or alien invaders? Man, I don't want to jump the gun when I see in-game currency rewards because a lot of times, it's not that bad. But I swear, because a lot of times it's just it's actually just in-game, right? Go collect it. You can't buy it. Wait, can I buy it? Okay, if you can buy microtransactions, it's not available yet. But I swear, stuff like that. Actually, a pretty good deluxe edition. I swear I own so many digital soundtracks, and I think I've only ever really listened to the Payday 2 one. And one other, because they had one really... Oh, yeah. It was the... Gungeon. Dude, the end song on that, fire. And so it's probably just in-game currency. That's why they change up his outfit. What's his outfit look like now? Okay, so it just looks more like a combat, like business combat. I like that. I like that aesthetic. That's like one of those aesthetics like you see in those memes where it's like what society thinks men want to wear, what men really want to wear. Let's see. The hero's journey. Blah, 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 melancholy. Gotta bring her soul back. Bro. I'm going to be real with you, man. Yeah, one thing you're going to learn if you study enough about ufology, bringing people's souls back once you get to a certain technological understanding of how the material works is not as impressive as you think it is. A skilled necromancer could still save this plot. Blah, blah, then one Kaiser, blah, 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 Harpy, blah, 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 blah. Man, I really wish they would kind of just list off the features instead of giving all this fluff in here. Combat skills, parry, attack. Oh, yeah, because I love parry mechanics. Grasp, perfect. So challenging to perfect. You'll have total freedom to fight your way, switching weapons, mixing attack patterns, learning your enemy's movement, blah, blah, blah. I played Souls games. I know what the hell that is. So basically, it's an RPG you level up. There we go. Enter current part, unleash and attack one thing. Array harness potential skills granted by the dragon-like creature arena. When I said her read arena skip power, I thought they meant combat arena. It's like no, the dragon's name is Arena. I would talk shit. However, on account that I would die within. How long does it take your flames to reach something? Just speed wise, 5 seconds? We're in a power field. I swear it's called. It's kind of funny. To boost attack, damage, hand, ceiling, general. Okay. Separate upgrade system. So you got skills and stuff you can unlock with experience, level of character. And then you have an additional unlock system. Burst Pursuit, Intense Fight Style of Attack, High Impact Burst, Fusion Burst, Fusion Blast, Survival Skill, Stay in the fight for longer using your boost, dodge, and flexibility, Epic Weaponry. You know, oh, hey, PC features. Suck it, console peasants. We got ray tracing. Yo, real talk, has like any ray tracing ever made or break a game for like anybody? I kind of feel like it's like nice to have, but like not necessity. DualSense control support, high dynamic range display. It's like 30 FPS. Like, I've never played a single game that's ever been ruined by 30 FPS. And let me tell you this, all movies are roughly at 4 FPS. So if a game's unplayable at 30 FPS, then a movie's unwatchable at 24 FPS. I don't know, so I guess it's more of an action RPG. We'll have to wait and see how this game comes out. This is one of those games it's either going to do like be well received, or I could see it be mixed. I mean, visually that looked good. It's a JRPG, so it's probably like a Souls-like JRPG with sci-fi stuff. I mean, dude, those visuals do look good, though. I mean, yeah, we got to give them credit there. Those visuals do look splendid. Me liking my eye candy. It's coming out this month, though. And it's $60. Take note, AAA industry. Dude, you ever like want to buy a game just out of pure spite toward other companies? That's kind of how I felt like for a second there. Just pure spite. Ciclusa. HyperX Fantasy. The Will of the Gods. Oh, early access. Wait, who's making this? Because I recognize the art style. What else I make? Okay. It had a very similar art style to of Iron and whatever it was. Well, unfortunately, the first game was really good, and the second game was just absolutely woke. So I'm like, wait, is that another one for that developer? Because I'll be honest, Mice and Iron, yeah, whatever it is. Of Mice and Iron. Okay. Of Iron and Tales of Iron and yeah, no, that I played them too. It was just basically Marxist multicultural propaganda. Really sad. Because like the film's core themes are actually pretty decent. Setting aside age-old grudges that really no longer work. Both your people have been decimated. Scores have been settled. You're no longer really fighting over territory. You no longer have a need to. Letting go of some stuff. Working together to build a better society. And instead, it was just some Marxist dribble. Good to see that's not the same company. Yeah, but a lot of these, they're going to get pushed. Like it just says August, so. And there's not a lot of stuff announced for September. We'll probably go back. I'll probably do another one of these for September. They're kind of fun just to sit here talking about games. Hell is Us. I've not played the demo. I heard a lot about it, but I'm probably going to go in blind and then like be either love it or hate it. Demon X Machina. Is that a standalone expansion? Oh, hey, Marvelous. Because I swear like I just got like... Yeah, I did just get that. Okay, so it's like a sequel. So I think that just came in Humble Bundle this month. I would have to go back and check. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I like these visuals a lot more than the visuals I see in the other one. These are way better visuals. Because you look at the backgrounds, and this one actually has like backgrounds that like some kind of like minimalist, like I don't want to say science fiction because obviously that's still science fiction. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, like when you do like those virtuality and like it has like very little detail to stuff. Meanwhile, this actually looks like, you know, decent environments. So, all right, that's 2 good games for September. And Borderlands 4. Now, Borderlands 4 is like one of those games where I'm not sure if it's going to succeed or fail. It's going to be up to the general audience. I think the average gamer that stays informed is already made their decision on that, and they're just going to pass it. But the general audience, they don't really stay informed. They're not hooked up like we are. Not dunking on them, just pointing it out, because you got to understand the difference in information. And it's really kind of funny, too, because a lot of times they'll buy up into a game that we all know is going to be dog shit, and then they're like surprised it's going to be dog shit. And it's even funny when you warn them, too. It's like, yeah, don't buy a game, it's going to be dog shit. It's like, they buy the game, like, why is this dog shit? It's like, why did you not listen to me? Like, at a certain point in time, I feel like you don't really have a right to complain. Like, you do, but it's like saying, like, yo, don't stick your dick in that blender. It's going to rip it up. It's like, I don't know. Look, here's literal game footage of another person absolutely destroying their member by putting it in a blender. I don't know. I'm going to try it anyway. Why did this hurt so bad? Like, at a certain point in time, you just got to accept, like, responsibility for your own poor choices. I mean, I know it's, like, not a great analogy, but at a certain point in time, you're kind of just shoving your dick in a blender when you're buying a game. Oh, Rome. Ooh, RPG Maker. Class of Heroes 3. Ooh, Dungeon Crawler. All right. Dying Light the Beast, it kind of feels like what Dying Light 2 should have been before they decided to virtual signal and kick out Chris Avellone before he cleared his name and won millions of dollars. I think actually he's working on some big RPG right now again, so good to see him back in the industry. But yeah, then they rebooted like the entire story for Dying Light 2, and I'll be honest, like Dying Light 1 was a zombie game with parkour, and Dying Light 2 was a parkour game with zombies. I hated it. I thought the story was absolutely horrendous. But bringing back Kyle Crane and making it more story focused and not really have to be obsessed with all these just absolutely absurd parkour like designs. Like there's a certain point in time you look at something and it's like, yeah, there's no way in hell anyone is ever going to build something like that, because even if you're skilled, a easy slip up will kill you. And then all the broken promises with Dying Light 2, and they're just kind of like moving on from Dying Light 2. Like that game is not going to have the support like they promised. Like it's going to have very light support. Like they'll probably meet their how long they said they're going to support that game, but it's pretty clear at this point in time the Dying Light community is done with it. TACLAN realizes it was a misfire. Because the Beast was originally a DLC, and I'll say this. The Beast was not spun off because, they thought it needed, it could be made bigger. The Beast was spun off because Dying Light 2 is basically died like a month after it came out, and it never recovered. You can look at videos from the Dying Light community, and they just hate on that. Like, Dying Light 2 just never got good. That's like the sad reality is. I got that game. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the Dying Light 2 case. I got the one with the one that kind of has visual holographics on it. I like the case. Like, but keep in mind, that's like the best thing I can say about the game. Like, I was the one that I bought that game, and I was telling my friends, like, yeah, don't get this game. Like, it's terrible. The writing was just subpar. And don't get me wrong, it had some good writing at times. Like, that quest where you turn back on the electricity so the dude can hear his wife talk on the answer machine. That's kind of a tearjerker. That's like that's onion ninja stuff right there. But I swear, it's like you could really tell what was left over from Avalon's script and what was left over from the New Riders, because the New Rider stuff was like borderline insufferable. Wait, what am I even talking about? Borderline? It was straight up insufferable half the time, most of the time. Like the I forget her name, the female character that ends up like she's like that girl boss bullshit. But then you run to these parts where it's like you have these humanizing moments and her writing is like really good. I'm like, yep, this part here was written by Chris Avalon. This part here, because I can't say for sure, but Chris Avalon's been in the industry long enough. He wouldn't have a renowned name if he wrote woke slop. And I liked her character in the parts where it was obviously written by Avalon. She had a very humanized character design. Like, it was good. But everywhere else was just insufferable. And that's why I'm kind of hesitant about being excited by Dying Light the Beast, because I saw the footage and it's like, it looked okay. And then that's it. Like, it looked okay. And I'm including the for a reason, because that's kind of like how I felt. Like, it's like, and I love zombie games. So if you got me on a zombie game going, you probably messed up somewhere along the lines. I mean, we'll see how it shapes up, but like right now, I'm not really hyped for the Beast. And I know we're going to September, but fuck it. Ooh. And let's see. Endless Legend 2. My brother was telling me mixed things about the developer for that game, but I loved Endless Legends. And then there's the go to September Silent Hill F. The only Silent Hill game, I will remind everyone here, did not say the words modern audience, has actually had to put up a warning for content because, oh my God, a Silent Hill game is actually a mature game. And looks to capture the original like feel of Silent Hill. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, as a misogynistic gaming shot, I have to now hate this game because female character. Like, this is the kind of nonsense what I'm talking about. Because look at this, right? Most gamers are excited for Silent Hill F, especially because it doesn't have J.J. Abrams working on it. It was the only games that J.J. Abrams was working on, did not say modern audience, and it actually looks to capture the classic feel. Now, I did not play Silent Hill 2 Remake because modern audience, and then they shrunk the heads, made the boobs bigger. And well, they kept saying units shipped. So yeah, the game did not sell well. I have to wonder if I think I saw a leak saying that the Silent Hill 1 remake was actually greenlit like years ago. So it might be the problem that it's been in development for too long to cancel. But my original thought was that the reason why they were doing a remake of 1 and giving it to Bloober was Bloober did an okay job. And maybe if like you didn't like hamstring them with modern audience nonsense, they could make a good, real, actually solid remake. But a lot of stuff for the remake of 2 was just like, oh, we're adding stuff we know better than the original creators. And nah. I'll be honest, like Bloober's kind of like one of those teams where, aside from their terrible endings, like if you police them, they actually might be able to do a really good job. Like, give them their own Silent Hill game. Like, real talk. Like, it's like one of those. It's a tragedy because, like, they put people in charge of like these remakes, right? And it's so obvious they want to make like their own game. And it would have been better, and everyone would have just been happier if they were just allowed to make their own game. The fans of the original would have been happier. It was just like a graphic update, like, the GOG program. Where they basically make it playable on, modern hardware. My voice is getting kind of raspy right now. But yeah, no, Silent Hill F, man, I'm going to love playing that in September. Agatha Christie, there we go. Agatha Christie. I'm fat. EA Sports. It's in the microtransactions. Again, another Altair game. Is this a remake or actually the next one in the franchise? Okay, this actually might be the next game. Because I've played a lot of the games, and if you just more Field for Shadow. Decent chest size. I can't tell if this is. I think it's the next game in the series. Yeah. By the way, you ever notice that none of these people who ever tell you, "Oh, the Game and Chuds are just misogynist," ever promote the Altair franchise? Like, every one of the games is I think except for one. I think there's one that has a male lead. It's female led. You ever hear them like promote this franchise ever? No, they don't. And September's looking way more lit than August. But like as we go into September, we'll probably get more games announced. Like this will definitely fill out. Because some of these games here are just going to get pushed back into August, September. But yeah, we're probably in a gaming drought. And then we got like Q3. Oh, Mars Attacks. Oh, based on that movie. Nice. So there's like a real... wait, was that movie a comedy or is it actually a legitimate... Oh... Is this the one? Oh, Mars Attacks. Is this based on that one movie where they found out the alien's weakness is actually certain frequencies of music? That was great. Let's see. Oh, that looks good. Roguelike blending fluid, cosmic, and cosmic horror. This might be one of those chase genre games. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be more like oh, what's that game called? Inside? Yeah, that's it. Inside. Hey, look, another female protagonist game that you don't hear the gamers are misogynist promoting. What a shocker. I'm not human. Hey, when is that one game supposed to come out where you're basically running a gas station, have to deal with the shape shifting? Not lichens. Skinwalkers. That game's gonna be fun. You know, I honestly feel like in the Aliens universe, you could probably solve a lot of problems by just automating the guns. Like, look at RoboCop, right? Like, they had like wall-mounted laser turrets that literally slice some dude up in one movie as he's trying to hold up his ID because the AI he kept fucking with went fully rogue. It's like, I don't know, at a certain point in time, you think they put some actual thought into security measures for aliens? If you're going to build a facility with aliens, I'm just saying, like, maybe hear me out here. Don't make the air ducts big enough that they can crawl through. And maybe, like, have some sensors in, like, places that are, like, off the beaten path, right? Kingmakers. Yeah. New Painkiller games dropping. I'm into October. Yeah, we're going way beyond September. Screw it. My video, I can do what I want. Well, no, not September, August. Little Nightmares 3. You know, I was actually kind of really looking forward to Little Nightmares. And then I found out it was being made by Supermassive Games. Now, I think actually this actually might turn out good because they're actually being supervised. But Supermassive Games, their problem is they love doing too smart for you stories. This is what I like to call when they try to do plot twists that make absolutely no sense or basically ass pulls just to avoid like just doing the, oh, it's paranormal. And they do that so many times in the Dark Picture Anthology. Like twice it's a hallucination. It's like, yeah, that's not how hallucinations work. Oh, it's not paranormal. It's actually a crash alien ship with the aliens infected by parasites turning them into monsters. Bro, paranormal's more believable at that point. But they actually had a round of layoffs too. But they're being supervised with Little Nightmares 3. So, yeah, that might turn out pretty good. Oh, Harbor, what was that one? Ah, never mind. It's one of those multiplayer games. As you can see, like they just really don't have a lot of set release dates. Oh look, a Jurassic Park World Evolution. It has Denevo. Guys, I cannot tell you how much I hate Denevo. Like, it's not even like a matter of like emotion. Like, you ever heard like the joke goes like the sky's blue, the rain makes things wet, and I hate Denevo. Oh, dude. I swear, like hearing the water's not wet argument is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And then you look up this argument and like in it, they'll say like, well, if you go underneath the technical definition of wet, water's wet. And it's like, why would I ask for anything else if something is wet other than the technical definition of wet? that makes no sense whatsoever and learn what an intrinsic fucking property is. I swear, it's like one of those things that triggers me, like Internet of Things. It's a smart network. By the way, you could tell someone in marketing who didn't know what the hell they were talking about came up with that term, because Internet of Things says the same thing twice. An internet is a interconnected network, which already implies things. Internet of Things is a smart network. I will judge people by saying Internet of Things. But the rest of the year. But what will we play? Yeah, we'll see how Arc Rares turns out. Oh man, I can't wait for that to crash and burn. And I have that on. I have Game Pass. I can play that game. I am not playing Outer Worlds 2. Like, if you set aside the bad writing and wokeness and the reputation burn from Avowed and the capitalism bad in the trailers, and the director already trying to throw the head of the studio, the guy who basically set the direction of the game, under the bus. The sheer fact that you play as a character from a plant that shouldn't exist anymore is like it for me. The first game heavily implied Earth was gone. Every colony tried sending things to Earth, none of them would come back. Something knocked the hope out of Skip Drive. And it's like, oh no, there's just portals between Earth and that. And it's like, that is a fucking retcon if there's ever a retcon. And it's stupid because you actually really could do a lot of stuff by having like a world where the central economic and industrial powerhouse is gone. And then how all these other colonies are interacting with each other and coping with that. And instead, they just retconned Earth back into existence. They're changing stuff in that. Yeah, like I said, we'll get more confirmation when stuff's coming out as the months go. Let's hop over here to Polygon. Said no one ever. Wait, didn't this website get shut down? I'm probably thinking of their website. Let's see what else is coming out in August. Let's see. Anything we missed? Oh yeah, Black Myth Wukong is coming out after its year exclusivity deal with PlayStation that they lied about. Just coincidentally, only took them a whole year to get them out. Because we all know why they lied. Because PlayStation kind of got themselves in a hot mess after the whole Xbox Activision acquisition. So they could not appear to be too strong to sign exclusivity deals when they're bitching about exclusivity. But, let's just set that aside, because Black Myth Wukong, from everything I've heard, is a really good game. And it's coming out at full price after a year. Like, oh, I'm sorry. You don't get to charge full price after doing a year exclusivity. Like, you're down to, let's see, you're $70, so you're down to $50 now. Like, the audacity of making Xbox players wait a year, having Denevo on PC, that's specking at my glasses, and then charging full price. What if all my glasses magically get dirty? I don't even touch them and they just get dirty. Wait, why is it saying Dying Light the Beast? This has not. That had got pushed back because that's coming in September, isn't it? Man, I want to Google search that. Actually, let me open a tab over here. Rumble. Dying Light the Beast release date. Okay. Your boy a gooner. YouTube does not like it when you do gooner stuff. Yeah, so it is coming out on September 19th. So, yeah, okay, that got pushed back, so this has not been updated. Delta. Okay, no, nothing else really confirmed. And again, you can see like how like bare bones September is. Oh, yeah, we actually have stuff confirmed for October. October is a more generous month. Like nothing really confirmed for November and December. Yeah, but again, like it's another instance of indie games are really going to be carrying the next month. Indian AA is really just where it's at right now. Let me pick out the ones I'm most looking forward to. Again, I probably won't buy too much this next month, other than maybe it's already upcoming. Those 2 games are already out. Oh, I forgot about Grand Empress sequel. Survival game, except for instead of time, this one actually does multiple realities. That one actually looks pretty good. Shattered Souls actually looks pretty fun. All right, but which ones would I actually get? Let's see. If any. I've already kind of like got some great games to occupy myself this next month. Definitely at Mafia Little Country. What's Firefly Village? Farming Sim. Nice. So there had to be at least one game I was actually thinking about getting. I mean, if I'm not going to get anything, it's probably going to end up being like the Dawn of War Definitive Edition. I'm probably going to sleep on that. Because I played the originals. Wait, did I buy the originals or did my brother buy the originals? My brother's holding on to a lot of my PC discs. But I can't remember who owns fucking what. Oh, it don't really matter. Void Burgers look pretty exciting. But early access. I already played that to death. Pizza Band actually looks pretty fun, but I don't do multiplayer games. I guess Snake Eater's probably going to be like the only game. Oh, actually, Goblin Cleanup. I might get Goblin Cleanup. It's going to really depend on how cleared up my backlog is at that time. But Snake Eater's probably the only game, and I already played that. Lost Souls aside, it's probably either Goblin Cleanup, Lost Souls aside, or Snake Eater. Because everything else I've already heavily played. I already either heavily played or just... Like, Gears of War Reload probably okay. I don't know. You guys see any hype for that game? Let's see. Any of these? Yeah, none of these are going to come out. Yeah, so I'm going to save a lot of money this month. And then September, it's going to probably be the same thing. Like, the only thing really September right now is like the Dying Light the Beast, and that's a big maybe. Hell is Us too, probably. I'll probably look more into that as it gets closer. Oh, hey, a boomer shooter. I love me my boomer shooters. I need to play the ones I got, though. Baby Steps, so I'm going to say this. Baby Steps is going to be the streaming game of September. Like, everyone's going to be playing that. It's just going to have so many clippable moments. Oh, sell hell up. Okay, so September, I'm going bankrupt. But August, yeah, there ain't much coming out August. August is kind of really a dry month. Good month to check up on backlog. Couple good indie games worth checking out. But realistically, not a terrible lot's coming out until like the end of the month. And you really can roll that into a year. Like Grand Emprise is like, if you like survival games, check that one out. Actually, it's just, what is you okay, Busters? Okay, probably an adult game. Yeah, you can go to a bunch of different worlds.
Lost wanderer, stranded in the portal's darkness. Allow me to bestow upon you dominance over the gates.
So rather than time travel, this time you just go to multiple realities.
Stranded as you. Now, my mind is betwixt the portals. Take care not to sacrifice your being. Or as you will end up portals apart.
Yeah, the virtual game they made, I guess, had some problems. I think it's like mostly mixed. Is it mixed or actually? Hey, they made StarCraft too. Wait, is this entering early access? Okay, this one is actually dropping. Yeah, now keep in mind this right here. Like, I swear I've like so many games like the last couple years. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally gonna get this game, and it like early access announced it like last second. Yeah, because original graphics definitely got improved. That one basically traveled through time upgrade path, and all that. It was a positive overall. It's a nice small indie game. Not a bad looking one. Woohoo, asset flip. Man, I swear, like a tedious, repetitive game. Like, bro, it's a survival game. Now, the bugs, that's a legit complaint. But yeah, just keep an eye on the other one because, you know, first game has some issues. But honestly, look, I'll be honest, I don't really care if it's an asset flip. I don't really care if it's repetition. It's a survival game. Like, I'm gonna break this to you guys. Like, come closer. Come closer. All right, most survival games have the exact same play loop. Guys, come closer. Come closer again. Most Soul games also play pretty much the same. Real talk. It's kind of like when people bought into Elden Ring Night Lord. Like, a lot of the initial reviews were like negative, and so many of the reviews just boiled down to, I bought a roguelike and I didn't know what a roguelike is. Why is this game playing like a roguelike? A roguelite, whatever the hell I call it. And then basically, once people understood what a roguelike was, understood that it was an expedited combat feel for the game, reviews went upward. But I swear, some people buy into games without knowing what they're buying, and then they complain about the game's nature when the game was always going to be that way. Now, to be fair, I think that's actually pretty relevant in context, right? So if I were to say, like, hey, as someone who doesn't play fighting games, I really like this fighting game. People who have the same general mentality and interests and what's the word I'm looking for? Not flavor. Preferences I do would be like, well, if Kevin doesn't really care for fighting games, I don't really care for fighting games, and he likes his fighting game, probably pretty solid. Okay. He might be more inclined to give it a shot. But like, some other people, they just don't like they don't like these games, and they buy them anyway. I swear. People are weird sometimes. right, let's do one final check-in on Rumble. No comments. Okay. And tend to do more well. Let's check multi-stream. Okay, we got nada. So I'm gonna call it here. That's really what's coming up the next month. We got some pretty decent games. Not a whole lot. The end of the month is really going to be what's. I mean, Shattered Soul actually looks pretty decent. Like, but with no actual set release, let's actually check this news real quick. Because this game actually looks pretty fun. Okay, related news. No news. Okay. Yeah, it's a good Metroidvania game. Beat 'em up. Looks fun enough. But yeah, I think August is going to be the month I really blow through my backlog. Let me know you guys want to play down in the comments after below. And I'll see you next video. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. I'll try to do more regular chatter or live streams, where I talk. Here and there, interact with the audience and stuff. Appreciate y'all who subscribe, like the videos, share them around. The usual. But hey, it really does help us small-time YouTubers, small-time content creators. Not YouTubers, just YouTubers. It comes down to it. I think, like, the appreciation for the small stuff really boils down to how well, like, if you blow up at first and if you're a thrall or not. But yeah, no, appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.